What's up, guys? We've got an amazing opportunity here in crypto. I do not want to underestimate how amazing of an opportunity we do have. I've been reading the comments and I'm realizing that a lot of people are actually going to miss out on these opportunities, even though they're right here in our face, okay? So I want to do the best I can to actually give some of my insights from some of my experiences to actually give you a chance to actually take advantage of some of these opportunities and not miss something that's going to probably annoy you a lot when you look back retrospectively, if you missed the opportunities, okay? So I've actually shot this video a couple times and it just wasn't short enough, so I'm gonna make this super short as I possibly can, right? So I actually drew this chart out in real time previously, but I'm just gonna actually show you because it's easier to just talk through it than to draw it in real time. So if you look here, this is actually what investing is going to look like, okay? If you have not invested in other asset classes, be it stocks, crypto, real estate, whatever, you name it, you probably haven't really felt what it feels like to actually be a successful investor. And a lot of people don't actually talk about this process, right? A lot of people just put emphasis on their wins and stuff like that. And it actually leads you with a very unhealthy understanding what investing is. And it's gonna probably leave you wrecked, and you're gonna have to learn these lessons over time, miss all these great opportunities, and then learn this the hard way, all right? So let's get right into it. The blue line here is gonna represent the interest in any market, right? How interested are people in real estate, stocks, crypto, you name it. We'll call it crypto since we're actually talking about crypto right now. So the blue line, as you can see, starts high. The interest starts high. This is just one hypothetical scenario, right? The interest was high. Let's call this blue dot here the top of the previous bull cycle. Interest was high, and as you know, from that point, interest just completely dropped, and it tanked, and it tanked, and it tanked, and it tanked. All right, and as it tanked, it eventually tapered off, and it flattened. Interest was not going down, but it wasn't going up. It was kind of in a holding pattern. And then eventually interest reversed, and now people were starting to be more and more interested. As you can see, now people are coming back into crypto slowly, and that's going to continue and continue and continue. Now, if you go back to the height of the bull market, let's say you're a new guy, you're into crypto the first time. You know, initially it's your first time, you're a newbie. That was pretty much me. I was in a little early, but I was pretty much in at dead smack at the latter end of the bull market, okay? So with that being said, you enter. This is the thing that people don't understand. A lot of people think that you're supposed to just do nothing and wait for the prices to go low and then enter. The problem with that strategy is that you don't have skin in the game, and you actually, if prices go up, you will miss those opportunities. And if prices go down, you probably will never purchase, right? Because you'll just wait for them to go down more, go down more, down more. And what ends up happening is you'll never be satisfied, and you'll eventually end up having comments like this, right? So I'm actually paying attention to you all's comments, and I'm trying to make sure I mold the content to you all's comments. So here's a comment that says, I wanted to buy near a couple of weeks ago, but got greedy thinking that it could go lower. Now it feels like I missed a great opportunity. And what's interesting about this is that prices go lower, you probably still won't buy. And then if it goes even lower, you probably still won't buy because they're going to be bad news. And what you'll find out is eventually you'll just end up being the dumb money. When things pump, you'll be the dumb money and you have missed the whole opportunity. What's actually healthier, and I've been successful like this in multiple markets, and this is the same way I'm finally becoming successful in cryptocurrency, is you actually want to get into the game. If you don't have any skin in the game, you have to get skin in the game. So you have to slowly start to purchase, even if interest is high, and you start to purchase because you don't know if interest is going to go higher or lower. You don't really know, right? And as interest goes lower, you just get more aggressive. You purchase and you purchase and you purchase, right? All the way up until interest stagnates. Once interest kind of stagnates at the bottom here, you should be purchasing a lot. We just saw these opportunities, and I believe we're going to see a couple of more opportunities like this, but you should be purchasing your butt off when interest is low and constant, all right? And so that first zone you have here, this red zone, is your non-profit zone, your zone where you look like an idiot. This is the zone where you're in the red, right? You're buying into an asset as people are losing interest in the asset. That sounds totally stupid. That sounds like a madman. That sounds totally not smart. But this is actually what you need to actually get skin in the game so that you can actually start to actually feel the market and actually figure out where it's going, all right? So you get into the game, and this red zone is inevitable. You're going to actually have a red zone where you're going to be negative, okay? This yellow zone is going to be the zone where things start to reverse, where you're doing a major purchases at the lowest interest. This is where you're going to start to become smart money, because now finally While other people are scared to purchase at these low interest because price is going down as the blue line interest is going down. You're not scared because you've been purchasing at higher prices, little bits. So you feel way more confident because you've been doing your research on the assets and you're purchasing like crazy. Other people who did not have skin in the game, they think that they'll purchase, but they'll actually miss it. They will not purchase at these low levels of interest. They will not purchase at these low prices because they don't have any skin in the game. They'll just wait for it to go lower and think they're going to be the smart money. They're going to end up being the dumb money because eventually the prices will reverse, go up, the interest will come back, and it will never go down until you're the dumb money and now you're FOMOing, okay? It was very important to understand. So if you do this process right at the beginning, you will be down. I've had this same problem in every single market I've been in, and now I look like a genius in everything I'm doing, but it's just because this is the process, right? And a lot of people don't talk about it. So you finally get to this green zone. The green zone is where you've been purchasing the whole time. The interest has been dropping. Interest has flattened out. You finally made major purchases during the flat interest, the yellow zone, and now interest is going up and you're slowing down. You're the smart money. You're the smart money. You're stopping your purchases. You're pulling back. You might still DCA, but it's not aggressive. And you're starting to count your profits as they start to go up. This is how you convert over into smart money, okay? This is very important. There's another comment that was quite interesting. It's right here at the top. It says, this is going to be an epic crash. You know exactly what they're doing, right? They're driving the price up artificially based on the Fed holding rates today. Rates will go up next. Fed meeting at that point, we will officially enter a recession, already one. BTC will go to near 40 to 50K before the crash. Retail folk will buy in hard, because of videos like this one. And long story short, the smart money would jump in and scoop it all up. Interesting enough, I actually agree with this a lot. Okay, we already talked about interest rates and how interest rates will probably reverse the price of risk assets, yada, yada, yada. But I need you to understand that if you're a new investor, comments like this will actually make you think that you should wait to get into the game. This is where I see the problem, okay? Because there's a chance we can go up to 40, 50, and then go up to 60. And then you're just going to hope and hope and hope. And at some point, you're just going to FOMO because you just think you're missing out, right? So it's more important to get skin in the game regardless if you don't have skin in the game. And slowly, if we start to pull back, become more and more aggressive, right? You're not going to get this perfect. You're going to have some red. You're going to have skin in the game. You're going to be down. But if you do it correctly, like we're saying, you will actually get to this yellow zone and eventually to this green zone 100% of the time, as long as your assets are value assets, actually true value assets, and you're investing in the correct things. Okay, so this is very important, guys. Now, with that being said, I want to show you something on the fear and greed, because if you need one thing to look at, if you don't know what to do at all, make sure you're looking at your fear and greed. All right, we're looking at the price of Bitcoin from 2018 to 2024, and we can see the fear and greed color mapped on top. What I want to hone in on is what would have happened if you would have just bought the red, right? If you bought the red, you would have been DCAing right here, right? This is falling right into 2019. You see this fall right out of, check this fall from 2019, this red you see here is actually, check out the peak in 2017. 2019 is here, so that's falling right into 2019 here, before we see this next build up for the next explosion, right? So if you actually were buying the red that we see in the fear and greed index on this chart, you would have been buying this right here, fall into 2019, and then you would have slowed down during the green, right? So you would have been set up for that next bull cycle perfectly using this strategy. Now, another thing I want you to actually really pay attention to is I want you to pay attention to the fact that if you look at this fall here from 2022 into 2023, it looks exactly like this guy. Okay, if you look at this guy, it's almost like you can copy and paste this here, right? So if you look at this fall into 2019, and then we start to see this little rally here, this little green you see here out of 2023 is starting to look like this little rally out of 2019. Now, with that being said, we're expecting to see some more green before we see red, right? So if you imagine 2019 where we see this little rally, we have the crash here, we have the crash here, okay? We see this little rally, we're like halfway. As you can see, we're like halfway here, and then we get a little more rally, then we dump, right? That's what people are saying is gonna happen, right? For whatever reason, you know, it happened last time, it's happening the same way this time, right? So, you know, if the same thing happens and we can copy and paste this piece here, then we'll see a little more green, and then we'll start to see red, right? So I think there's going to be actually better buy prices, but this is not to be confused, right? If you listen to me and say, and convince yourself that, hey, better prices are coming, so I'm going to wait till those prices come and purchase, we could be up, guys. I already have my entries. That's why you have to at some point you have to be the dumb money and eventually become the smart money to get skin in the game. If you do not do it this way, then you're going to actually just FOMO and be the completely dumb money that comes in at the very end of the game, guys. All right. So that's very important to understand. All right. So me personally, I'm waiting to see red, and I'm purchasing aggressively into the red. All right. As the red happens, I'm expecting this to go up, be a little more green, and start to see some red. I'm going to be purchasing. If I was not already in the game, I would follow this strategy. I would start getting into the game now at a little bit, and I would have skin in the game, and as things drop, I would be more aggressive and more aggressive and more aggressive. Eventually, you will reach this point, and you will start being the smart money. Okay, I need you to understand that. That's very important. Now, where you enter, this doesn't mean this chart plays out perfectly every time, right? There are some markets where I entered here, right? I entered the market here, like boom. This is one timestamp, right? This is T1. Sometimes I enter here where interest is dropping, but and I'm buying in, but I get into this gold area pretty quick. There are some times that I make it in here, luckily, right? I'm here in T2, right? I think we're somewhere in here when it comes to crypto. So if you've just started, you're probably in this golden zone right now. So you're lucky, right? You're not buying here where I was, T0, right? I was buying here, T0, buying all the way into it, following my chart, which I've done in every single industry. And, some guys are going to come here at T4 and they're just going to get completely wrecked, and they're going to have to wait 4 years to be back here, right? So you don't want to do that. So with that being said, guys, understand that this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is actually playing out very similar to how all markets play out. Crypto just has way more upside and way more volatility due to it being a way smaller market cap and having so much innovation and so much attention. So with that being said, man, I just think this opportunity is absolutely absurd, and I like to actually be in front of you all showing how aggressively I'm going into crypto, because it can give you some level of conviction, because I've worked really hard for the money I have, just like you all have, and for me to be putting such absurd amounts of money in crypto, it might give you some confidence that, just to know that someone else is doing it and someone else is in the game with you, there could be some value there. So I'm really paying attention to all of your comments. I really appreciate you all for everything that you do for the channel. If you would please do this service, like the video to support the channel, subscribe if you want more videos, and hit that bell notification so you can get time sensitive information. I'm going to be pushing more videos out more rapidly. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you all, and see you in the next video. Peace.